Mastery of Objectives 1 and 2 by Ashley Schmidt. What is developmentally appropriate practice? Developmentally appropriate practice is meeting the children where they are at. There's 3 main considerations. The first one is knowing about child development and learning. It helps us know how to support the child. And then knowing what is individually appropriate to teach and care for the child as an individual. And know what is culturally appropriate, get to know the child and their family, what is important to them, and how to respect them. There are 6 dimensions for an effective kindergarten classroom, and in the following slides I will be explaining each of them. First is getting to know your students. By getting to know them, it helps you know what to expect from each child, and you're able to establish a positive relationship with them. The second dimension is to build your classroom community. You want to have your students feel welcome by having their names labeled on their own things. You want to encourage group discussion and sharing of their ideas, and you want to be able to bring each child's home, culture, or language into the classroom. Guide the children's learning. By doing this, it helps motivate the kids. You're able to build on prior knowledge and their strengths, and it supports their learning in a variety of ways. Next is assessing child's learning. You want to assess to make careful, intentional decisions about how the child is learning, and observation is a very big tool when you are assessing the child. Building a partnership with the students and their families is really important. How a relationship is formed in kindergarten will set the tone for the rest of the child's school time. Invite the families to share goals for the child, and contact the parents and child before the school year begins to start building that rapport. Finally, you want to establish a structure. You want to have a space for their children to keep their things. You want a quiet place. You want to have learning centers. And you want to be able to organize the day so that your students know what to expect. To have an effective classroom environment, I think one of the more important things is to have each student have their own spot to put their personal belongings. So by having bins and baskets for their own storage will help them know that it needs to go back where it belongs and that this is their stuff. It's also important to have tables and desks in the classroom for their own personal workspace. Using furniture and rugs can help define a space and create boundaries for specific areas. Put block areas and dramatic play areas in corners so that the students have more areas to play and to have fun in. It's also important to have interactive areas that promote oral language development, and using easels and different art supplies to help with this development. Some learning centers that I would like to see in my future classroom would be science, math, dramatic play, reading, art, writing, and music. There are a ton of different ideas that can be used to create learning centers, and I hope to create a fun and inviting environment for the students. By having a daily schedule, it helps you as a teacher organize and achieve the goals you want to throughout the day. By providing visuals for the students, it helps them to develop independence and responsibility, and it gives them an idea of what to expect each day, which can help calm their nerves and just really give them that sense of routine as they go throughout their day. Instructional strategies are important tools for teachers to use while they're teaching in their classroom. Some instructional strategies that I would like to use would be to provide encouragement, give specific feedback, create and add challenges for the students, and give specific clear directions so the students understand what I'm asking. Using a variety of learning contexts will help guide the students' learning. There are 4 different groups that our book talks about. The first group is a whole group, which would be like circle time, and using that time to do class discussions and sharing different things that the students would like. Small group is more individualized and focuses on each child individually. In a learning center, you're able to observe how the students are playing and applying what they have learned, and daily routines are like arrival and differentiating or individualized instruction is extremely important in a classroom because no 2 students are alike. Each student is different and each student learns at a different pace. As a teacher, you need to be able to recognize how each student learns and try to help them to the best of your ability. If one student is doing really well on something, you need to figure out a way to challenge them a little bit more. Whereas if one student is struggling more, you need to find a way to scaffold it for their level. Building relationships with the families and their students is really important. Not only does it help the student develop better, but it also helps the family feel comfortable with you as their student's teacher. In order to build that rapport with the families, I really hope to be able to connect with the family and children before the school year, to provide them with my information and to introduce myself. I'd really like the parents to be involved in goals set for the children throughout the year. Coming to kindergarten can be an extremely fun, exciting, but scary time for both the student and the family. I hope to be able to create an environment that the students feel comfortable coming in and that the families trust me to be a positive role model for their students.